and welcome to the channel where I test, compare, and review robot vacuums and mops. Today I'll be looking at the ILIFE Shinebot, an excellent robot mop at an incredible price. They usually sell for around $230 on Amazon, though I've seen them for as low as $180. I've had my Shinebot for about 2 months now, and overall I'm very satisfied with it. It's done what I needed it to do and hasn't given me any problems, which isn't something I can say for every robot I've tested. Today I'll tell you about some of its features, what it can do, what it can't do, and how to get the most out of it. The Shinebot is the only robot I know of at or near this price point with a separate clean and dirty water tank, which means it works more like a traditional electric upright mop and less like a mobile scrub pad. It has a spinning brush that agitates the wet surface and then it sucks up the dirty water. It doesn't leave your floor completely dry, which is good because you can see where it's been, but it doesn't leave large puddles behind either, which means it's safe for hardwood floors. The floors in my house are old and full of gaps, and I haven't noticed any problems from using this robot. The robot is very quiet, certainly quieter than my birds, which never shut up long enough for me to film anything, and that's why the sound is off in most of my video clips. The Shinebot cannot detect carpet, but it can't climb anything, so it shouldn't accidentally wander onto your rugs. When I say it can't climb anything, I mean it. If there's any sort of lip between your rooms, no matter how small, this robot cannot cross it. Since this is not an app-controlled mapping robot, this is actually a very good feature, as it will stay confined to whatever room you put it in. Although I said that this isn't a mapping robot, that isn't entirely true. There is no app to control it, but it does seem to generate internal maps of whatever room it's cleaning. It navigates with uncanny precision and gets to every spot in your room, even ones that are hidden behind obstacles. Not 100% of the time, but close. It has a variety of sensors, including an infrared sensor that allows it to slow down before bumping into things, and its navigation algorithms are excellent. It moves around furniture and other obstacles with ease. In the box you get the robot, the charging base with AC adapter, a remote control, the product literature, a spare brush, a bottle of cleaning solution, and a couple of tools to clean the robot. I didn't really find much of a use for the remote control until I started filming. Since you have to carry the robot from its base to where you want it to mop, you may as well push buttons on the robot. The charging base has a variety of cord wrapping options, but since this robot doesn't return to or leave from its charging base, you could put it anywhere, even on a shelf. To use the robot, you take it to the room you want to mop, select the appropriate cleaning mode, which I'll describe in a bit, and then push clean. It turns itself on automatically when you remove it from the charging base, but if it's off, a long press of the clean button turns it on. This robot is not a vacuum, so be sure to sweep and/or vacuum your floor thoroughly before using it, as with any mopping robot. Though no matter how well I vacuum beforehand, this robot always manages to suck up some pet hair into its dirty water bin. When I first got the robot, I was worried about those clicking noises it makes, but it turns out that that's just how the water pump works and it's perfectly normal. And now you know why there's always pet hair in the dirty water bin, even though I vacuum before I mop. The robot will eventually cover every part of the room you put it in. I started this time-lapse after it had already cleaned the middle part of the hallway, which shows you that, although it does get to everything, the choices it makes as far as what to clean first are pretty strange. The robot has 4 cleaning modes, though I only use 3 of them and don't quite know what the 4th one is for. The first is the normal mode, the path mode. This will basically clean the entire room that you put the robot in, limited only by the physical boundaries. So if you want to clean a large room and there's no way for it to escape, this is the mode that you want to use. The next mode is called area mode, and it's very similar to the path mode, except that it cleans in a smaller area, limited by the starting position of the robot. It will not clean anything behind its starting position. So in this video, anything below the robot is off limits. Above that line, however, it will act just like the path mode, where it will explore and clean everything in that area. Next is the spot cleaning mode, which I'll demonstrate in a bit, and it's something you can use to clean spills or pet accidents. The last mode, the one I don't use, is the edge mode, which is just what it sounds like. It cleans the edge of the room you put it in. I don't know why anyone would need that, except maybe if the robot misses the edge on one of its runs, but that's never happened to me. This video shows the robot's infrared sensor in action. You can see it's going around the door without bumping into it, or at least bumping into it hard, so it knows it's there without having to activate its bump sensor. This is a pretty impressive array of sensors for a robot that doesn't do intelligent app mapping. So here's a demonstration of the spot clean mode. You take the robot and you put it next to what you want to clean. You select the spot clean mode and press clean. You could actually put it a lot closer to the spill, or probably even on top of it, although that feels pretty weird to me, so I don't do it. In this mode, it makes a square that it keeps expanding until it reaches the limits. I think it's about 2.5 feet per side, and once it does that, it starts to follow along the edges of the square, each pass getting smaller than the last, until it ends up where it started. And as you can see, it picked up the coffee with one pass. So even though it makes 2 passes on just about everything in this mode, it's very effective with just one. As far as its mopping ability, this is an excellent example of something that the robot can't do very well. This is cranberry juice, red wine, ketchup, and milk that have been drying for several hours. If these were fresh spills, it would pick them up pretty effortlessly, but it's too much to ask of any robot mop to clean up something like this. The best use of a robot mop is to maintain a clean floor and to pick up light spills or just the fine dust that a robot vacuum leaves behind. Muddy dog prints are an example of something that this particular robot is very good at cleaning up, but spills like this that have been drying for a while are a little too much to ask. In the video, it may look like it's actually cleaning this, and it is picking up the parts of the spills that haven't dried yet, but what it's really doing is making a sticky mess by spreading it everywhere in its cleaning pattern. I've given the floor time to dry, and you can see the sticky mess that the robot left behind. I'm going to take a regular mop and I'm going to show you the effort that it takes to remove this. Now I'm pressing quite hard with that mop and using a lot of liquid, and I've made several passes, but the ketchup is still there. So these stains are actually very difficult to remove, and I don't think that there's a single robot mop on the market that can clean this up. So it's not a disappointing thing that the Shinebot can't do it, because that's just not what it's for. So not everything can be sunshine and rainbows, and this is one of the downsides of this robot. In a scrubbing pad robot like the BravaJet, you just throw away the old scrubbing pad, put a new one on, and put clean water in a tank, and you're ready to go. In this one, you have to clean it. So here, I'm cleaning the dirty water tank. It's not enough just to drain it. The manual wants you to fill it with water, shake it, and then clean it some more. And then there could be pet hair, which for me, there's always pet hair stuck in there. So you've got to get it out, and sometimes it's in the actual reservoir, so that's what those tools are for, and they're very handy. Now at this point, I think it's important to say that this isn't something you have to do every time you use the robot. I do it every time the water runs out, which is actually quite a long time because it's extremely economical with its water. I get maybe 5 or 6 large rooms out of it. If I had to do this every time I mopped, this would not be something I'd want to use. So if you're setting the robot up for the first time, this is where you'd start. You'd fill up the clean water bin. Now there's a minimum fill line on the tank, and you don't want to fill it less than that if you're using the floor cleaning solution, otherwise it doesn't matter. The ratio is pretty important, and it's 1 capful per full tank. This stuff is very nasty, so don't get it on your hands because it will burn. I always like to rinse my hands afterwards. Don't use more than 1 capful. According to ILIFE, that can damage the robot. Once you've got the clean water in and the dirty water out, you are almost ready to reassemble the robot. First, you have to clean the brush. I've been using this brush for about 2 months now, and I don't see any reason to replace it yet, but I guess eventually it'll deteriorate, and it's nice that they include a spare brush in the package. Once that brush is clean, you can reassemble the robot and you're ready to mop, assuming it's charged. The battery will run out before the water tank. I find that I get maybe 3 or 4 large rooms compared to 5 or 6 for the tank. So I'm going to show you an almost uninterrupted time-lapse video of this thing cleaning my bedroom. I cut out a part in the middle where the robot was wandering around under my bed where it couldn't be seen. Other than that, this is pretty much uninterrupted, and as you can see if you watch the whole thing, it does actually clean every part of the bedroom. When I first decided to get a robot mop, I naturally considered the BravaJet M6. The ability to map your house, to go from room to room, mopping what you tell it to mop, that seems amazing. But then I realized that it can't actually cross thresholds. And I know there's a software update that lets it do that, but just looking at the physical properties of it, I don't think it can cross the sort of thresholds that, that I have in my house. I'd have to see it to believe it. And if I have to pick it up and carry it to the room it has to mop anyway, what is the point of intelligent navigation or mapping? Maybe one day someone will come out with something like the BravaJet that can actually cross thresholds and, not go onto carpet at the same time. And if that happens, that would be definitely an exciting product that's worth considering. I think some of the combination robots, like the T8 Ecovacs with the vibrating mopping pad, that's certainly a viable option. But as a dedicated mopping robot, I think this is one of the best ones you can buy. So at the time of filming, this robot is on sale on Amazon, which it actually usually is. Right now it's about $200. Well, let's go to Amazon, find the thing. So it says $229, but there's a coupon that you can apply, and you just click on that little coupon toggle, and then it'll show up when you go to checkout. So it's $229.99, but when you go to checkout, it's, what is it? $198.71, which is a remarkable price for this robot. I mean, you get so much for this. I think ILIFE maybe isn't doing too well in the United States, and they're trying to establish themselves. But this is an exceptional mopping robot. I'm very happy with it. So brushes are pretty cheap for this thing. Let's find some on Amazon. Around 20 bucks. Some of them come with a squeegee. I don't know if you need to replace a squeegee, but I guess if you rip yours, it's not a bad thing, and since it's almost the same price, why not? One thing I can't find is cleaning solution. I've searched and searched and searched, but at least it's not on Amazon. I think you can order it from ILIFE directly. But if you click on the robot, it actually recommends the Roomba cleaning solution. Just keep in mind that the ratio is different. It's not one cap to one tank, so you're going to have to figure that out based on the size of the tank and the recommendations on the bottle. So if you've come this far in the video, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Please like and subscribe. I'd like to grow this channel. I've been fascinated by robots since I was a kid, and I had the very first Roomba in 2004, I think. And it was a neat gimmick. It bounced around and kind of cleaned, and the dustbin got clogged and the brush got tangled, but it was a fun thing, and eventually I put it away. It stopped using it, and I only looked back in on these things a couple of months ago, and the progress, the technology is just amazing. I mean, these mapping robots, the artificial intelligence robots that can recognize objects, I mean, it's just astounding to me, and I have a lot of passion for these things, and I just want to share that passion with you guys. So again, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again. And if you're still here for the last couple of minutes of this video, I'd like to talk about some of my favorite robot vacuum channels. Robot Masters is great. Nathan is funny, really knowledgeable. I love his videos. Sometimes I watch them just for fun. Vacuum Wars is of course fantastic, and there's also Adam's Tech Reviews, which is really good. Those are the channels that inspired me to start my own, and I want to thank those guys. They helped me learn a lot in a very short period of time, and make some very smart purchasing decisions. So thank you guys, keep up the good work, and as for my viewers, until next time, I'm Mike, and this is Mr. Roombato.